Let me ask you something. What makes a person truly terrifying? Is it their strength, their skill, or something deeper? When you think of Mike Tyson, you don't just picture a boxer. You feel his presence. You feel the intensity, the danger, the fear. Why? Because Tyson didn't just fight in the ring. He dominated the mind of everyone who stood in front of him. I've spent hours digging into Mike Tyson's psychology, studying his interviews, his mindset, his movements, and I've discovered something powerful. Tyson wasn't just a boxer. He was a master of projecting fear, confidence, and dominance. If you understand what he did and how he did it, you can unlock a side of yourself you've never even touched before. But here's the challenge. Are you ready to face what I'm about to share? Because the truths behind his aura aren't just about him. They're about you. How you carry yourself, how you walk into a room, how people perceive you. If you're not ready to face this and dare to change, maybe this isn't for you. But if you are, let's dive into psychological strategies that made Mike Tyson unstoppable, not just physically, but mentally. Number 1, the power of first impressions. The way Tyson entered the ring was unlike anything anyone had seen. No flashy robes, no entourage hyping him up, no extravagant displays. He walked in wearing plain black shorts, black boots, and an intense expression. His simplicity wasn't a lack of style. It was a calculated move. It screamed, "I don't need distractions. I'm here for destruction." Why was this so intimidating? First impressions are critical. They set the tone. Tyson's minimalist approach communicated focus, confidence, and raw aggression. He didn't need outward symbols to assert dominance. His very presence did that. His stripped-down look was a psychological weapon sending a message to his opponent. I don't need gimmicks. I'm the real deal. Think about how you present yourself in important situations. Do you overcompensate with flashy clothes, excessive talking, or excuses? Sometimes less is more. When you let your presence and actions speak louder than your appearance, you project a quiet confidence that's hard to ignore. For example, imagine walking into a job interview dressed sharply but not overdone, with a calm demeanor. Your composed presence will outshine someone trying too hard to impress. Number 2, the stare that crushed confidence. Tyson's legendary stare was more than just a look. It was psychological warfare. Before the fight even started, Tyson would lock eyes with his opponent. He wouldn't blink, flinch, or look away. This wasn't just habit, it was intentional. Tyson once explained, "If I can make eye contact longer than them, they're mine." That unrelenting gaze was designed to break their mental defenses. Why is eye contact so powerful? It's primal. In nature, predators stare down their prey. Maintaining eye contact asserts dominance, while breaking it can signal submission. Tyson understood this instinctively. His stare wasn't just intimidating, it was a challenge, a message that said, "I've already won." You can use this in your daily life. For example, during a negotiation, hold eye contact just a second longer than feels natural. It shows confidence and can unsettle the other person. However, use it wisely. Too much can come off as aggressive. The key is balance, just enough to show you mean business without crossing into discomfort. Number 3, weaponizing vulnerability. Few people realize the struggles Tyson faced as a child. Growing up in a violent environment, he was bullied and beaten, often feeling powerless. But instead of being consumed by his fears, Tyson learned to use them as fuel. He famously said, "Fear is like fire. It can cook for you or it can burn you." Tyson transformed his vulnerability into unmatched focus and drive. This is a lesson for all of us. Everyone faces fear, pain, and struggle, but it's how you respond that defines you. Tyson's story reminds us that even the most intimidating people have been shaped by hardship. For instance, consider a student failing a major exam. They can either let it define them or use it as motivation to study harder and prove their worth. Ask yourself, are you letting your fears control you, or are you channeling them into something productive? Remember, vulnerability isn't weakness. When harnessed, it becomes your greatest strength. Number 4, unpredictability is power. Tyson was a paradox. Outside the ring, he was often quiet, even soft-spoken. Inside the ring, he was a storm, explosive, unpredictable, and relentless. This duality made him impossible to read. Opponents couldn't prepare for him because they never knew what to expect. Unpredictability is a powerful tool in any situation. If people always know how you'll react, they can manipulate or outmaneuver you. For example, in a competitive workplace, if you're known for always following the rules, competitors might exploit that predictability. However, if you're occasionally willing to take risks or approach problems unconventionally, you become harder to outsmart. Tyson's unpredictability wasn't just physical, it was psychological. His quiet demeanor outside the ring lured opponents into a false sense of security. Are you too predictable in how you handle challenges? Keep people guessing, and you'll keep them on their toes. Number 5, mastering the silent threat. Unlike many boxers, Tyson rarely talked trash before a fight. He didn't need to. His silence was more terrifying than words. Why? Because silence forces others to fill the void. When Tyson didn't respond to provocations, his opponents were left wondering what he was thinking, and their own fears filled the gaps. Silence is a psychological tool that many underestimate. For instance, in an argument, staying silent can disarm the other person. When you don't react, they're forced to confront their own words and actions. It creates uncertainty, which can be more unsettling than any verbal response. Practice this in your interactions. The next time someone challenges you, resist the urge to immediately explain yourself or defend your position. Let the silence linger. It communicates confidence and forces others to question themselves. Number 6, the fearsome walk. Tyson's walk to the ring was a performance in itself. It wasn't rushed or flashy. It was slow, controlled, and almost robotic. With each deliberate step, he claimed the space as his own. His walk said, "I don't need to prove anything because I've already won." Why was this so intimidating? Confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, unshakable, and doesn't need validation. Tyson's walk conveyed complete control over his emotions. There was no nervous energy, no fidgeting, just pure, focused determination. Now, imagine walking into a high-stakes meeting or event. If you shuffle in hesitantly or rush through the door, it shows uncertainty. But if you enter with slow, purposeful steps, head held high, and a steady gaze, you send a powerful message: I belong here. For example, consider how public speakers walk onto a stage. The most impactful ones don't hurry or stumble. They stride with intention, commanding attention before even speaking a word. Number 7, hyper-focused preparation. Tyson's dominance in the ring wasn't accidental. It was built in the gym. He was obsessive about training, studying his opponents, and perfecting his craft. He famously said, "Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it." Tyson didn't just train to be fit, he trained to be unstoppable. His preparation gave him the confidence to step into the ring knowing he was ready for anything. How often do we face challenges in life without adequate preparation? Whether it's a big presentation, an exam, or a difficult conversation, many of us rely on improvisation and hope. But preparation breeds confidence. For instance, think about a student preparing for a final exam. The one who studies thoroughly, reviews past papers, and practices will walk into the room with far more confidence than the one who skimmed the material the night before. Ask yourself, are you truly preparing for the battles in your life, or are you winging it? Success rarely comes to those who leave things to chance. Preparation is what separates the good from the great. Number 8, the art of controlled aggression. Tyson was a master of controlled aggression. In the ring, he didn't waste energy throwing wild punches or reacting emotionally. Every punch was calculated, every movement deliberate. He wasn't just fighting, he was executing a strategy. His aggression wasn't reckless, it was controlled and focused. In life, it's easy to waste energy on distractions, emotional outbursts, or unproductive efforts. Controlled aggression means channeling your energy into what truly matters. For example, if you're working on a big project, are you staying focused on the tasks that drive results, or are you getting sidetracked by minor details? Controlled aggression is about efficiency, putting maximum effort into actions that yield the greatest impact. Ask yourself, are you moving with purpose, or are you wasting your energy on things that don't matter? Like Tyson, learn to focus your aggression on achieving your goals, not reacting to distractions. Number 9, building a reputation of fear. Tyson's opponents often lost the fight before it even started, not because of what happened in the ring, but because of what they heard beforehand. His reputation was a psychological weapon. Stories of his devastating knockouts, his intense training, and his fearsome aura spread like wildfire. Opponents stepped into the ring already defeated by the myth of Mike Tyson. Your reputation works the same way. What do people say about you when you're not in the room? Are you known for being reliable, confident, and skilled? Or do people associate you with inconsistency and excuses? For example, think about a coworker who always delivers exceptional work on time. Their reputation precedes them, making others trust and respect them even before interacting with them. Building a strong reputation requires consistent effort. Every action you take contributes to the story people tell about you. Make sure it's a story worth telling. Number 10, owning your mistakes. Tyson was far from perfect, and he never claimed to be. He openly admitted his flaws, his anger, his insecurities, and his failures. But by owning them, he took control of the narrative. He didn't let his mistakes define him. Instead, he used them to grow stronger. Tyson once said, "I'm not afraid of who I am." Owning your mistakes is liberating. When you acknowledge your flaws, you take away their power to control you. For example, imagine a leader who admits to their team, "I made a mistake in how I handled this situation, but here's how I plan to fix it." That honesty builds respect and trust, far more than pretending to be perfect. What about you? Are you hiding your flaws out of fear, or are you confronting them head on? Remember, vulnerability isn't weakness. When you own your mistakes, you turn them into opportunities for growth and transformation. Number 11, the undeniable confidence. At the core of Tyson's fearsome aura was his unshakable confidence. He once proclaimed, "I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious, and I'm ferocious." Confidence like this isn't arrogance, it's belief. Tyson believed in himself so deeply that others couldn't help but believe it too. Confidence is contagious. When you truly believe in yourself, others will naturally follow suit. But confidence doesn't come from thin air. It's built through preparation, resilience, and self-awareness. For instance, think about a musician who practices tirelessly before a performance. When they step on stage, their confidence radiates because they know they've put in the work. So ask yourself, do you believe in yourself? Not halfway, not sometimes, but fully and completely? Confidence starts with you. When you embrace your strengths, own your weaknesses, and prepare relentlessly, you become unstoppable. Mike Tyson's fearsome aura wasn't just about his punches. It was a masterpiece of psychological warfare. He didn't just fight opponents physically, he broke them mentally before they even stepped into the ring. Every step he took, every stare, every word, or lack thereof, was calculated to dominate. And here's what's truly fascinating. Tyson wasn't born with this power. He built it. He crafted it from his pain, his insecurities, and his struggles. And that's where you come in, because this isn't just about Mike Tyson, it's about you. Think about it. What kind of aura are you creating in your own life? When you walk into a room, do people feel your presence, or do they overlook you? Are you projecting confidence, control, and focus, or are you letting the world define you? Here's the hard truth. The way people treat you is a reflection of how you carry yourself. If you've been feeling invisible, unappreciated, or underestimated, it's time to change that, and you can. Tyson's story proves that you don't need to be the biggest, the strongest, or even the smartest person in the room to dominate. You just need to own who you are and project it fearlessly. I know this isn't easy. I've been there too, feeling small, feeling unsure. But what I've learned, and what Tyson's story teaches us, is that transformation starts with a choice to show up differently. A choice to face your fears instead of running from them. A choice to build an unshakable presence that demands respect. So let me ask you one last question. Are you ready to make that choice? Are you ready to take control of your aura, your presence, and ultimately your life? If you've made it this far, I know you have it in you. You just need to take the first step. Here's what I want you to do next. Reflect on one area of your life where you've been holding back. Maybe it's how you speak to others, how you carry yourself, or even how you see yourself. Commit to showing up differently, starting today. And if you're serious about transforming, subscribe to this channel. We're on this journey together, and I promise, every video will give you tools to become the most powerful version of yourself. Your aura is your message to the world. What message are you sending?